Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to On the Mic with Mike RVA. It's the premier social daily enterprise show here in the Richmond area. I'm your host, Mike King, and I appreciate you being here with me, as you could be doing a lot of other things, and I appreciate your time. So join me as this cutting edge show uplifts the community and showcases RVA in a different way. The views expressed in this show are mine alone, don't get approved by anyone. I don't co-sign with any other co-host, advertiser, or ad on the station. The views are strictly mine. So the sounds you're listening to are emanating from the studios of Mike King Biz, the social enterprise epicenter. So this show highlights partnerships, people, social enterprise organizations making a difference in the greater area of Richmond. So please follow my brand, which is Mike King Biz. You can find that at MikeKingBiz.com. So we'd like to thank our show sponsor, Jimmy Comer and Chris Smith of Community First and RBI Services. Those guys are doing some excellent services providing to the nonprofit and small business community. So if you ever need any type of help, make sure you check out RBI Services. That's Chris Smith, Jimmy Comer, over there providing services for the community. One of the groups I always give a shout out to is the Forward Foundation with Andrea. And those guys, it used to be the Sophie House, providing services for single moms in the way of daycare. So daycare. So today's show, folks, as I say, it's action-packed with game changers. We got the A-list here today. So who do we have with us? We have in the studio with us my friend from way back who knew me before I was Mike King Biz. So we got Jenni Kirby, the owner of the most awesome art center, art gallery here in the Richmond area. She says it's a supermarket size of an art gallery. So, folks, you got to check it out. We're going to talk to her about that. Going to also talk to her about some things in the business world where we're in some difficult times now. And so some of the choices she's had to make with affiliations with artists and how that all worked out. We also have, so this is the tearjerker part of the program, folks. Say hey, everybody on Instagram. So the tearjerker part, we have Nicole Bell, media personality, but today, folks, today, she is here with Operation Smile. They're making a difference from a global perspective. So Nicole's going to be, and she's on the on-deck circle. She's being socially conscious right there with the distancing. She's on the other side of the glass. Got my man, super producer here, Al Green. So he's here. So if you want to speak to us, you can reach us at 804-778-8888. That's 804-778-8888. It's On the Mic with Mike. We're here with you every day from 1 to 2. With that being said, we'd like to welcome in Jenni Kirby. Jenni, welcome to On the Mic with Mike, the Daily Show.
I love being on the mic with Mike. This is awesome. So thank you for asking me.
Well, we have to have you here. Like I said, you knew me when I'm knocking on doors saying, hey, I'm Mike King. You said, come on in. And I appreciate all the stuff that you do. Let folks know about Crossroads Art Center.
So Crossroads Art Center, we are celebrating our 18th year, believe it or not. And we have about 25,000 square feet. We have 225 local artists that we sell and rep their work. And we also, when we can, have classes and workshops.
So you have everything from postcards basically to the Chuck Lavery's. Let's see.
Chuck Larrabee, yeah.
Chuck Larrabee. So I sound like I might know art.
You do know art. We've had numerous conversations. You do know it, buddy.
Well, I know it because we've shot commercials at your place. We shot TV shows there. You've always been a community champion. Let folks know where the commitment to community comes from and then we'll go over into some of the questions that had to happen about your distancing yourself from artists.
Yeah. So our commitment has just been there since the get-go. I grew up in a family that we did a lot of volunteer work and we wanted to do a lot of good in the community. So that has always been part of my life and continues to be. And then when James Bassfield, my retired business partner, and I joined up, that was the same with him. So we have always been doing good, and we continue to use the Art Center to help nonprofits or other businesses that don't have that leg up, that need that leg up, and just need that boost to get out there and be recognized and hopefully succeed.
So talk to us a little about the business side. What has COVID, Corona done to your business model?
So with COVID, we had already been selling art online and had a good presence, but that really dawned on the artists of I need to get my act together and really get my artwork online through Crossroads Art Center as well as in-house where you can personally and person come see it. But for the month or so that we couldn't have people in or only by appointment, it was selling online that really kept the business going. So we I think by the end of July we will only be down 15% for the year.
That's excellent.
Which is huge. This June and July, we've had bigger sales than we had in 2019. I think there was some pent-up demand that was able to come in and push us forward. So we have, done all the things that we needed to do to be open, keeping things clean, social distancing, everybody wearing masks, everybody being aware of their surroundings and what they're doing. And it's really interesting because when people come in to look at art, they just sort of get lost in their own little mind. And every once in a while, we have to, tap them on the shoulder and go, can you just get a little about 5 or 6 more feet away from that lady that's there? Because they're just in their own mind. So we do babysit a little bit for some of the folks coming in shopping. But it's fun. And a lot of the people that have come in are just like, thank you for being open. And thank you for having a place that we can come and just, see things that are beautiful.
Ladies and gentlemen, the voice you're listening to is Jenni Kirby, the owner of Crossroads Art Center and a community champion and a friend of mine. So that's one of the reasons why she's here. So let's talk about the turmoil, I guess you would call it, that you found yourself in with some of the statements of an artist. So, okay, so this is the program where we touch on the hard subjects.
Yeah.
This is the 60 minutes portion of the program. So when we're in a time where racial sensitivity and something that someone said from a while back comes up as a person that you're doing business with, what position does that put the business owner in?
It puts us in a really hard position. So the artists that I represent actually rent the space from us. So we have a contract with them, and we show and sell their work. And the contracts are 6 months. They could be a year. And I have never found myself in a position where I have had an artist say things. It might be political, yes, but to go to being racist, no. So we had one artist that had some remarks like that got picked up in the social media, and the next thing I know, they're telling me I need to fire her, get rid of her, and I'm like, hold on, she doesn't work for me. I can't fire her or get rid of her because she's not an employee. I can't even really tell what's happened because everything's erased, on social media to really know what had actually transpired. But I can tell that people are really hot. Mm-hmm. So I really, as a business owner, sort of need to get down to the bottom of what's really going on and what's happening. And we had threats against the business. I had to hire some off-duty police officers and security to come in on a Friday and a Saturday night just to be there because, we're all glass.
Yes.
To protect the buildings. And had to have a heart-to-heart conversation with the artists who I don't think really got it, and I think gets it now, but, what that they were saying on social media, how that can affect Crossroads Art Center, my business personally, and then the other artists that show at Crossroads. They, putting somebody and putting their business and putting the other artists in harm's way.
That's a tough spot. So a lot of times what people did in the business world, sometimes it came over from their personal life. We're talking now, what you do in your personal life now impacts the business. Everything from COVID to your comments on social media, which seem to live forever. People think that you can pull it down and people will be out looking for things to get you on. And so you are in a position like I am. I don't work for this station. Mm-hmm. I buy time to be on this station. That person isn't my employee, but as your business, you have to look and see what impact does this have. So let's talk about. So we got away. We touched on that. Let's talk about the artwork of the graffiti. What's your thoughts? I mean, I've seen some creative things.
There are some very creative things, and I have to say, some of the artwork the graffiti that I've seen in Europe is absolutely amazing. When you travel, graffiti is everywhere. And some of these guys are freaking amazing. And they turn themselves into, and I'm not going to say real artists because they're artists as well, but they, take it up a notch and actually become big selling artists in Miami and across the world. So you look at even some of our local folks who started out, who I won't say their names, started out as local graffiti artists. One did a little time on all that, and come out and really put their talents into doing it in a, shall we say, proper art setting, and have done a great job, just a fabulous job. So the statues that have been graffitied, are works of their own artwork. They are somebody's creation and a piece of art. And then it's basically somebody coming in and overlaying their art on top of it. For good, for better, for worse, whatever your thoughts are on it, but it is an expression of art, an expression of that person's thoughts.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is Jenni Kirby of Crossroads Art Center. So what else new and exciting do you guys have going over at the Art Center?
Right now, we've got the call for entries for the September show, believe it or not. It starts on August 1st, and then we are gearing up for that September show that'll happen Friday, September the 18th. And we can have people in. We're not going to have the 600 people that they say by law I can have. No, we are limiting, those events to 200.
Couple of things I want to touch on. So when a person buys art from you, they can take it home and try it out at home, can't they?
Well, they can actually take it on approval, so they don't even have to buy it. They can actually come in, see a piece of art, they can take it out on approval, they just give us their credit card information and all that, and if it works, they call us back and say, hey, it works. If it doesn't work, they bring it back as long as it's in the same condition that they took it out in, then they could take something else out.
Okay. Artists, so this is... Artists generally tend to go on the vibe of places. What's the vibe for Richmond right now, from an artist and creator standpoint, from what you see? Because you're cool like that. So you live downtown. Before you were driving a Mini Cooper. Now you have a Mercedes wagon. You're still
a 2009 Mercedes station wagon.
Because you're cool. Cool people drive wagons. So
I just couldn't do a minivan.
No, you're not the minivan type. The Mini Cooper one, I definitely can understand. So what's the feel of downtown?
The feel of downtown, and a lot of people are creating. I mean, I can't tell you. Even I am creating, and I do mosaics, and I haven't had time to create in a very long time. But we are all finding ourselves with more time. So there is a lot of art that is being produced right now that, we may not see for a couple months coming out. But I think it's going to be interesting when all this opens back up and we can really be open how much art, new art, and different veins and creative art that's going to be produced and come out and be shown.
Cool. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Jenni Kirby. The time is 1:21. We have to go away for a minute. We'll catch you on the other side. Thanks now.
Before and after the salon has been active in the Richmond, Virginia community, providing hairstyling services for over 10 years. Before and After is located in downtown Richmond at 1917 West Carey Street. Specializing in weaves, extensions, and growing healthy hair, Before and After provides a full suite of hair care services. Expert stylists Michelle Smith and Alicia Clark are well trained to meet your styling needs at Before and After the salon.
Welcome to your neighborhood wellness store. Your journey with wellness is our #1 priority. We can help you navigate your journey through our cold-pressed juice bar, CBD products, health and wellness products to include hemp shea butter. Relax and unwind in our Wi-Fi lounge and more. We are located at 14822 Hull Street Road or online at yes2hl.com. Phone number 804-818-2867.
Hi, my name is Daquan Woodbury, also known as Chef PQ. The restaurant industry is going through a hard time right now. With COVID-19, a lot of things are going on. Restaurants are shutting down. They might have to even close their doors for good. In the past few months, we've seen how life can change dramatically in a blink of an eye. Fortunately, I've created a system, a proven system, that allow restaurants to stay successful in this new way of life. As the owner of RVA Cafe, I would love to help you through these challenging times. Go to redindigofood.com for more information.
Hi everyone, it's Pavi Leitner, the CEO and founder of Finlit and your family's certified financial educator, dedicated to the financial success of you and your family. Are you not sure where to start with your finances? Or are you looking to sign your middle schooler up for our virtual camp? Book us at www.finlitva.com. That is www.finlitva.com. Finlit is creating a money-conscious community.
Chris Ship here with Focus Floors, and for the month of May, we are offering a free upgrade in any Bona water-based poly for any job that gets put on our schedule. You can reach us at focushardwoodflooring.com or just check us out on Facebook or Instagram. Facebook, Focus Floors 804, Instagram 80 Floors. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Reba Hollingsworth with CBS 6, and I was on the mic with Mike and had a fabulous time. Make sure you tune in every week.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to On the Mic with Mike. It is the premier social business enterprise show here in the Richmond area. I'm your host, Mike King, sitting riding shotgun with me today. Jenni Kirby, owner of Crossroads Art Center. We got Nicole Bell over there waiting to come in at the bottom of the hour. But we have a friend. We got another friend of mine on the line. You're on the mic with Mike. Hello.
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 Hi, Mike.
Howdy. Hello, Ashley. So, hey, Ashley, Jenny, we can't see you, but Jenny's here with us.
Hey, Ashley, good to see you.
Good to hear you too. Yeah, I know what you mean.
So, Ashley, folks,
yes.
Ashley is a good friend. She's an autism mom advocate. So, Ashley, give folks a little bit about the background, what you do, your Facebook group, and then you guys have a big event. It's the Raise for Case. So, you're here to talk about that. So, the floor is yours.
I will talk about anything you want, Mike.
And you can talk about anything. Yes, you have.
Do you really want that?
Not on radio, no.
No, this weekend on Saturday, the annual 5K walk for the Autism Society, Central Virginia. But this year, of course, it's a little bit different. So we are raising money for kids around the area. It's all local. All kids in the area with autism, like my son. His name is Case. He is now 8 years old, diagnosed about 5 years ago. And the reason it's so important this year really is because with everything going virtual, kids like my son are having a kind of a hard time right now. Their routines have been completely disrupted. Their schedules are gone. And they're having a hard time understanding exactly what's happening. Luckily, my son is able to go to an after-school program for a couple hours each day, quote-unquote after school. He's not really in school during the day, but he can go in the afternoon to Faison. And he's lucky because a lot of kids don't have that kind of resource. And they're at home, and they don't have a lot going on. It's very hard to teach kids with autism how to virtually learn, at least a lot of them anyway. And so the Autism Society Central Virginia has all kinds of resources and camps and things that you can do if you go there. If you have, anybody with autism, if you have autism, you can go to their website, ascv.org, and you can look for different resources. And this is raising money on Saturday just for the kids and adults and teens here in Central Virginia who need a lot of help right now. So that's what we're doing.
Well, that's great. So, Ashley, right now, how are you guys? So, you started the group. What is it? RVA Autism.
our fan is the way I think of it. It's Richmond Family Autism Network.
Okay,
And I started that a few years ago.
So you guys are now. I guess you have to band together even more now because of the having to stay in and the social distancing. How are parents coping these days? I can imagine.
Oh man, yeah. It depends on each family is so different because there's always this cliche that you hear, but it's so true. If you've met one kid with autism, you've met one kid with autism, and it's the same thing for families. If you've met one family with a kid with autism, you've met one family with a kid with autism. So we're all handling it differently. I talk a lot on the phone with other moms, and it's honestly a day-by-day thing right now, I think, for most people. It's trying to find resources to keep kids, entertained during the day, keep them learning. It's trying to reach out to other parents and families and try and connect with play dates if they're comfortable doing that, just one-on-one or at a playground. Just trying to fill days, honestly. I think that learning that we were going all virtual in the fall, while understandable, is also really hard for a lot of parents and kids here to take because this is what the kids know. It's what they want to do. They want to go to school. They like going to school. And with their routines disrupted, it's just especially, it's hard for every kid, but it's especially hard for kids with autism who can't even begin to understand why their routines are being disrupted.
Alrighty, I can't imagine. So Ashley, let folks know that where they can find the information and help out for the Race for Case.
I appreciate that, Mike. Yeah, you can go to runsignup.com. It's runsignup.com/race for case. And his name is spelled CASE.
All right, folks, that information will be on with Mike. Ashley, thanks a lot. Take care. Tell everyone I said hello.
I will. Thank you so much, Mike.
All right, appreciate it. Thanks. Jenni Kirby, 15 seconds. Well, how can people find you?
Crossroadsartcenter.com. That is the website.
All righty. Thanks, Jenni, for coming in. We'll catch you folks on the other side with Nicole Bell from Operation Smile. Thanks now. Take care.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. Attorney General William Barr is defending the federal law enforcement response to civil unrest in America. Barr told members of the House Judiciary Committee at a much-anticipated hearing that the violence taking place in Portland, Oregon, and other cities is disconnected from George Floyd's killing, which he described as a horrible event that prompted a necessary national reckoning on the relationship between the black community and law enforcement. Air travel will take even longer than previously thought to return to pre-virus levels. The gloomy prediction from the Air Transports Trade Association, the IATA, they're pushing their forecast back by a year to 2024. The Miami Marlins coronavirus outbreak could endanger the Major League Baseball season, Dr. Anthony Fauci said, as the number of their players testing positive has risen to 15. This is SRN News.
I know that on those tablets Mr. Moses brought down is the commandment to not covet. But I'll confess, my neighbor and his lawnmower is making it tough. He's got this stand-behind, ride-along space shuttle that covers probably 3 times more space than my trusty old lawn boy. So, when we have who mows the fastest races, which are completely fabricated in my head, he has some impressive advantages that I just don't have. And at our Faith and Family Mortgage team, we're blessed to have a pretty special advantage of our own, and one that could be a big deal for you. Our team is lucky to be an arm of a bigger company that is a direct lender, which means our company gets to use its own money and make its own decisions within its own walls, an advantage that often allows us to get you a better rate, saving you monthly and lifelong money on a refinance or new home purchase. We are United Faith Mortgage.
United Faith Mortgage is a DBA of United Mortgage Corp. 25 Melville Park Road, Melville, New York. Licensed mortgage banker. For all licensing information, go to NMLSConsumerAccess.org. Corporate NMLS number 1330. Equal housing lender. Licensed in Alaska, Hawaii, Georgia, Massachusetts, North Dakota, South Dakota, or Utah.
As a doctor and a business owner with 15 employees, I know how hard this shutdown has been on our families and our society. I took an oath to do no harm and promote safe and healthy living. That could mean encouraging patients to take better care of themselves or taking common sense precautions to protect themselves from a virus. I'm confident that the time has come to start reopening our communities. Because we know who is at low risk, we can let these individuals get back to work. We also know which groups are at highest risk and can focus our resources on protecting them. By working together, we have flattened the curve. Now it's time for Main Street to reopen.
By working together, we were able to flatten the curve. But now it's time to flatten the fear. By taking common sense precautions like social distancing, the vast majority of people under the age of 65 are at very low risk. Together we can open America. Find out more at flattenthefear.com. Brought to you by the Job Creators Network Foundation.
Since the very beginning, CEO Magazine has been empowering women to be the chief executive of their lives. Sharon's dream was to create this lifestyle publication that helped women manage the hustle and bustle of their everyday. From hair to makeup and photo shoots to the look of your brand and even messaging, whether you are being featured on our front cover or inside our magazine, or simply partner with us, our team of people go to work for you. You sign up for a complete experience. You can share your story on our social media platform or come and network at one of our events. As CEO, we want to see you thrive, innovate, and create the life that you'll love.
My name is Isabella and you're listening to My King Biz. Hubby, that's my scam.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to On the Mic with Mike. It is the premier social enterprise business show here in the Richmond area. You're able to find us every day, 1 p.m., 100.5 FM, 92.7 FM, 820 AM. I'm your host, Mike King. I'd like to thank my granddaughter right there for the promo. She always leads us out of that break. So, folks, I've been telling you today, now's the time. With us in studio is Nicole Bell of Operation Smile. Among the other things that she does, she's a local media personality. So she's here for Operation Smile. In July is National Cleft and Craniofacial Awareness and Prevention Month. It's an opportunity to shed light on craniofacial conditions such as cleft lip or cleft palate. Today we have a special guest. She's going to talk about that condition and the organizations that are changing the lives of people born with a cleft. She's the Director of Public Relations for Operation Smile. Nicole, welcome to the program.
Thank you so much, Mike. Incredibly happy to be here with you today and really appreciate the opportunity to have this conversation with you about cleft lips, cleft palates, and who Operation Smile is.
Well, folks, one of the ways that I find folks and things I find interesting how they end up here, I had seen her work out there with Operation Smile, and I had wanted to find out more about them. Well, here she is today. Let folks know about Operation Smile as an organization, because you guys are doing some outstanding work globally and locally as well.
Yeah, I'm happy to have that conversation. Operation Smile, for folks who may not be familiar with the organization, who may not have ever heard of the organization, we are a global charity. We offer free surgeries to children and young adults all around the world who are born with a cleft lip, that's a tear in the lip, or a cleft palate, that's a gap in the roof of the mouth. People born with a cleft condition can face a whole host of health complications. This is not something cosmetic. People with a cleft condition can have complications when it comes to eating, when it comes to speaking, when it comes to hearing. So what Operation Smile does, we offer these free surgeries to correct the cleft condition. We offer hope, we offer dignity. These are life-changing and life-saving surgeries that we do all around the world for free.
And so when you're talking about the surgery, this is something can change a person's life immediately. You're saying they're not very big surgery. It doesn't take a long time.
Yeah, so a basic cleft for surgery itself, it can be repaired in as little as 45 minutes.
Wow.
Now, of course, there is aftercare.
Yes.
Right? And Operation Smile, and I will say, we don't do this unilaterally. We do this in collaboration with a team of credentialed medical volunteers, some 6,000 of them. We do this, thankfully, with the support of donors who believe in Operation Smile, its mission, its vision, and with corporate sponsors who support Operation Smile as well. But yeah, a cleft can be repaired in as little as 45 minutes. And so imagine, Mike, living your life with this condition right? It's physical. You can see it.
You can
People
see.
look at you, right? And so oftentimes we work in low and middle income countries. Operation Smile has a pretty significant footprint around the globe. We're in some 30 plus countries. And so there's a social stigmatization that's attached with this. People are bullied, they're picked on, they're ostracized. These kids are hidden away in the countries where we work. And part of the reason is some of these places, they don't have the technology, they don't have the infrastructure, they don't have the doctors to offer these services to children. And a lot of the families can't afford it. They would not be able to have their cleft repaired if it weren't for Operation Smile.
Ladies and gentlemen, the voice you're listening to is Nicole Bell. She is the Director of Public Relations for Operation Smile. She is here on the mic with Mike. So, what started out as a passion for a family comes into being a global organization. And when we had talked before, I had said, because I'm a very mature person, I'm 60, that we don't see it as much now as when I was younger. And you explained to me why that was. Could you give the listeners the idea of why we don't see that in this country as much as we do other places around the world that you guys are working with?
Sure. So twofold. The organization was started by Bill and Kathy McGee. These are people who are homegrown. They are from the Commonwealth. They live in the Hampton Roads area. And although most of our work is done outside of the United States, the McGees live here in Virginia. Operation Smile is headquartered in Virginia Beach. You're absolutely right. We don't see a lot of cleft conditions here in the United States. That's not to say that it's not prevalent, because it is incredibly prevalent. Every 3 minutes, a child somewhere in the world is born with a cleft condition. So you ask, why don't we see people walking around with a cleft lip or a cleft palate here in the United States? Well, here in the United States, we have a health system that's built to address these issues very early on. We have the technology, we have the doctors, we have the infrastructure. So a pregnant mom goes to her doctor, an ultrasound is done. You can see if a child has a cleft lip or cleft palate before he or she is even born. So when you have that, when you're armed with that knowledge in advance, you can start putting things into action in terms of addressing it. So here in the United States, a child born with a cleft will usually have his or her surgery done within the first 6 months of life. Whereas in other countries, they don't have the money, they don't have the infrastructure, they don't have the doctors. And sometimes education is a factor too. I mean, it's incredibly telling, because in some places, women are seen as doing something wrong if they birth a child born with a cleft condition. It's looked at as taboo. I mean, these kids walk around with bags on their head. It's shameful. And the reality is, it's not shameful. This is something that's prevalent, it happens, and it can be corrected.
So for a global organization, this is what so folks, the time is 1:40. The program is on the mic with Mike. Nicole Bell here with us. How have you guys changed? What has COVID and Corona done for you guys from an organizational standpoint?
Well, we've had to be creative. We've had to be innovative, because the reality is the caring never stops,
Sure.
right? These are kids out there who need our help. These are families out there who need our support. So yes, COVID has had a tremendous impact on the organization. Our leadership team, they meet regularly, and they have made tough but smart decisions with safety in mind. So we're all working virtually, right, as employees. For our patients, we've had to go on pause in some places. Again, safety top of mind for patients and their families. I am happy to say, in some of the places where we work, we are slowly starting to have our missions again. So that is a plus, that we're very excited about being able to do these medical programs again. But what we've been doing is using technology. So virtually, we've been doing nutritional education, keeping in contact with our patients. We've been sending them food. I mean, the reality is, if kids aren't nourished, and in some places where COVID has hit, parents aren't working and food is scarce. So support in terms of food, we're working with the Ministries of Health, donating PPE, and rethinking how we deliver the care during this crisis.
Well, folks, that is Nicole Bell. We have to go away and pay some bills. This microphone isn't free here, so plus my grandkids need stuff. The Isabella that you just heard, she does need some things. So, just like to thank my wife. Shout out to my wife. She's watching and listening. So shout out to her and thanks for all the stuff she does for us. Folks, we'll be back on the other side.
Welcome to the SBA Weekly Business Tip. I am Martin Short with the U.S. Small Business Administration Virginia District Office. Although COVID-19 has presented us with an unprecedented economic period, the SBA is still here to help entrepreneurs, small businesses, and nonprofits recover. The SBA has billions of dollars in guaranteed loans available under the Economic Injury Disaster Loan and the Payroll Protection Program, or PPP. We are committed to helping all small businesses rebuild and recover. Let's continue the recovery process together. Visit us at sba.gov/coronavirus.
Hi, this is Melanie Staples. I'm from Waterfall Salon and Massage Med Spa with two beautiful locations in Glen Allen and Bon Air, Virginia. Our business is growing and we're looking for spa professionals just like you. So if you're a mature person that would like to get some extra cash and be a front desk receptionist, or if you are a spa professional who has expertise in waxing or eyelash extensions, or as a master esthetician, we would love to have you. If you are a massage therapist and would love to get the experience of working with a master medical massage practitioner, NASA Staples, Waterfalls is the place to be. Please give us a call at 804-644-4002 or visit us online and to submit your application. We look forward to meeting you. Thank you.
Does your home need a makeover? If so, refresh with quality with LA Labor and Painting, LLC. They make your home sparkle and be the envy of the community. They are masters at interior and exterior painting, drywall. They clean decks. They landscape and remove items you wish were gone. The bottom line is, they refresh with quality, provide professional service, and follow all guidelines regarding COVID-19. Call today to make your home sparkle. You can reach LA Labor by calling 804-972-8014. Call today for the On the Mic with Mike discount. When you mention the program, you'll receive 20% off of the beautification of your most prized possession. Call LA Labor and Painting today at 804-972-8014.
Hello everybody, I'm Jimmy Stump with Stump's Pig and Pint. We're located on the corner of 2nd Street and 119 East Lee. We specialize in slow-cooked meats, handmade sides, and homemade desserts. Stop by, let us take great care of you. You can find us on Facebook at Stump's Pig and Pint, or you can give us a call, 804-477-3208, 804-477-3208. We look forward to taking care of you soon.
Hi, this is Sylvia Farbstein, and I am on the air with Mike King. He is widening the lens of humanity, and I'm so happy to be a part of his journey.
On the mic with Mike.
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 I'm on the mic with Mike. He's like a guru.
No, he's a businessman with a great radio show.
And he supports the non-profits.
Watch his show and grow. 1 p.m. Friday, WNTW. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to On the Mic with Mike, here at 1 p.m. daily, with you talking about life, business, and everything in between. Today we have with us Nicole Bell of Operation Smile. Their organization, folks, is really dynamic, and it goes across, age groups. So you guys have a program for younger people. Could you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, we have a really robust student programs. We have some 900 student clubs across the world. And students are they play such an important role within the organization. Not only do they raise funds and awareness, we have something called the International Student Leadership Conference. This is a yearly event that Operation Smile puts on, with the exception of this year due to COVID. But students play a role in terms of education. There are opportunities for students to go on some, into these places where we work on some of our missions. And they really do care. We hear a lot about kids, right? And these students, they care, they want to be involved, they want to give back, and they want to raise awareness. And most of the time, some of them, they know people with a cleft condition. Some of them were born with a cleft condition. So it's about educating, it's about empowering, and it's about being kind and encouraging people to understand. Because a lot of folks, they may not know what a cleft condition is. They may not have ever seen one before or even heard of it. So really, education is key, and our students, we love them. We really enjoy them.
So are these kids who do some of them aspire to be in the medical field?
Yeah. I'll tell you a story about a gentleman. He's actually out in Salt Lake City, Utah. His name is Devin Griner, and I had the opportunity to work with him. This is a gentleman who's an adult now. He's a plastic surgeon in Salt Lake City, Utah. He started out with Operation Smile as a kid. He was 16 years old. He had aspired to be a photojournalist like his dad. He became involved with Operation Smile as a 16-year-old student. He had an opportunity to go out on one of our medical programs, and he saw the work that Operation Smile did. He saw the parents, he saw the need, and that changed his career path.
Wow.
He said, no longer do I want to be a video journalist, a photojournalist. I want to help kids like this. I want to be in this field. And so now, some 25 years later, he's an adult. He's a plastic surgeon, and he actually went to Vietnam last year. I had the opportunity to accompany him because 25 years ago, he had gone to Vietnam as a student with Operation Smile. 25 years later, last year, he went back as a credentialed Operation Smile medical volunteer.
That is having an impact on your life that changes the trajectory of it.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now you have a very background. There's some media involved in there. How do you get to Operation Smile? Because that's how I saw you on LinkedIn. I'd seen the work of Operation Smile, and I go, hey, my name's Mike King, and I'd like to have you come on my radio program. Talk a little bit about your involvement and how you came to be here today with us talking about Operation Smile.
Sure. So my background is broadcast journalism. I worked as a television reporter for quite some time across the United States, including here in the Richmond area. I started working for Operation Smile almost 4.5 years ago. And I used to be a health reporter, and I've covered Operation Smile.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay.
And so I was very familiar with the work they do. I was very familiar with the owners, the co-founders. And, it's people don't do this work simply for fun. You get in it because you care, because you want better for others, and because you want to see a difference. You want to be impactful. I like telling stories. I like writing stories. I like speaking publicly. And so within my role as the Director of Public Relations, I have an opportunity to tell these kinds of stories about the families. I mean, can you imagine? You're a parent, and you were talking about your granddaughter a little earlier. And some of the places where we work, these families, they don't know us, right? They don't know Operation Smile. They hand their child over to us, to our medical volunteers.
As someone who can help.
As someone who can help. And I will tell you, Mike, being a parent, you will go to the end of the earth to help your child. And these families, I mean, some of them live in incredibly remote areas. It takes days sometimes to get where we are. They walk, they take buses, they come by mule. I mean, this is not, hey, go around the corner. And we have people on the ground who find these families, who go out and say, hey, this is what Operation Smile is doing. They're going to be here. They can help. So they trust us, and we value that.
But so when you look at, anytime someone comes, we always talk about the business side of it. For you guys, it's the logistics side of it. How do you take an idea of going to an area and executing it to end up with parents bringing their children to you saying, help us with them?
Yeah, we don't do it unilaterally. We work with ministries of health, right? We work with hospitals within a given country. So this is really a collaborative effort, and that's simply because we all know the need is great. In some places where we initially were trying to work, this is years ago, you will have people say, we don't have children here like that because they were hidden away. And then the call came out, and then we started looking. And guess what?
The people showed up.
People showed up. People kept showing up. And I will say, with COVID, you asked about a little earlier, the patient backlog, because we've had to put our missions on pause, 10,000, over the last few months that we've had to put our program on pause. We've had to hold off on 10,000.
10,000.
Yeah, that's how great the need is. In the places where we work, there are 5 million children born or having this condition, and many more outside of the places where we work. So it is prevalent, and it is fixable, and that's where we step in, and that's where we step up.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is Nicole Bell. She is the Director of Public Relations for Operation Smile. She's here with us on the mic with Mike. You can hear us daily, 100.5, 92.7, 820 a.m. So let folks know how they can get involved. What type of help do you guys need? And because, you are a nonprofit.
Yes.
And nonprofits always need, because you have a mission, and, it does take finances to be game changers around the world. What are the pressing needs for you guys these days?
So right now, as you mentioned, we are a nonprofit, and we love donated dollars. We're good stewards of donated dollars. I'm going to plug our website.
There you go. This is not a shameless plug.
It's not.
This is the plug. That's what you came here for.
This is impactful work, and I want your listeners to know this is about changing lives. This is about impacting people who need help, who need support, and who can't do it on their own for whatever reason. They don't have the money, they don't have the resources, they live in a place where there's not, the technology isn't available. So donated dollars go a long way with Operation Smile. Our website is www.operationsmile.org. I'm going to say that again for the people in the back, www.operationsmile.org. And also businesses, companies, corporations, gifts in kind. I'll give you an example. We work with Johnson & Johnson. We've been partnering with them pretty much since the beginning, as Operation Smile is coming up on its 40th anniversary.
Wow.
Yeah, we started in 1982, Dr. Bill and Kathy McGee. And so Johnson & Johnson, they donate sutures. So when we have gifts in kind, we don't have to buy those
dollars.
Exactly. And so for any company out there that, is interested in helping, that would like to support, www.operationsmile.org.
So folks, you hear Nicole, she's talking about all the great things that they do. So please make sure you support her and the organization. They are, when you think about it, people bring their kids and you give them life-saving and life-altering services that may have never have happened if you guys didn't show up. That's what we're going to talk about, being good stewards of the community. And for 40 years that you guys are around as a nonprofit, that says something about you taking care of being good stewards of the finances as well. What's the next big thing for Operation Smile that you guys are working on that you're like, okay, we really need to make this happen and want to make it happen?
So I think the focus is on the care. The focus is on the kids. The focus is on the families. That's the mission, that's the vision. If you know the people who work for Operation Smile, these are individuals who want the best. These are individuals who know that the work we do is needed and necessary. And so I think we keep on being innovative. I think we keep on looking for new opportunities and new ways to serve, to help, to change lives. And I did mention our 40th anniversary is coming up, so we're all incredibly excited about that. I will give you more information on that as plans are in the works. It's just, we keep moving forward. That's what you do. You look forward, you move forward, you keep the wind at your back, and you keep helping others.
So what did it take when Corona hit and everything had to shut down? How nimble did you guys have to become? You're a global organization. Do you have to bring people back when all this started to work? Because from a logistics standpoint, that had to have been a nightmare.
Well, I don't know if it's a nightmare. We have a lot of smart people on our teams. We have a lot of smart leaders. And so we stopped international surgery programs. So what that means is, for example, medical volunteers that may live here in the Richmond area. They may have been slated to go on a mission in Morocco. Well, that's not happening. Okay. So we stop the surgical programs. And again, for safety, you can't have these programs. You can't have the surgeries. And so we refocused, we redirected, and we found new ways to help patients in the interim. You know, we don't stay still. There's a lot of smart people on the team who are always looking at ways to enhance, to increase, to do better under said circumstances. In the midst of darkness and uncertainty, how do we keep the momentum going? What can we do next? And so that's the focus, and that's been the focus over the last several months. And again, I am happy to say in some places where we work, in Vietnam, for example, they're starting to do missions again. In Morocco, they've opened up some of their care centers. And if I can elaborate just briefly on care centers, I don't want your listeners to think that we just go into a place and leave. We have comprehensive care centers all around the world. And so what does that mean? That means that not only do we do the surgery, we do dentistry, speech therapy, nutritional education. This is about caring for the whole child, not one and done.
That is bringing sunshine to people's lives. Folks, the time is 1:58, Nicole Bell here wrapping up with us. One last time, we have to let folks know how to get involved and how to help out. Let's get the website once again, please.
Absolutely, with joy. That is www.operationsmile.org, www.operationsmile.org.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to thank Nicole for coming in. I knew that I had to get hold of you to come in because what you guys are doing is outstanding. And I tell people, this is a social business enterprise show here in the Richmond area. I'm your host, Mike King. We'll be here with you tomorrow. Tomorrow we have a great lineup. We have SBA Wednesday. It's those guys are coming in from SBA. There's some great topics to talk about. We also have the folks from Virginia 30-Day Fund, where they're offering forgivable loans to small businesses impacted. So I'd just like to thank everyone for coming in. I'd like to thank Chris Smith, Jimmy Comer of Community First and RBI Services. Thank my friend Jenni Kirby for coming in and bringing us some wisdom. Shout out also to Ashley Richards. Make sure you support CASE, the Race for CASE, and all the folks out there who are working with families with autism. I'm Mike King. Glad for you to spend some time with us today. And as I say, usually, baby, I'm on the way home when this is over. Thanks now. Take care. See, I got my mask. Yeah, there, see. All right, take care. Thanks.
This is WJFN Bridgeland, WJFN Chester, 100.5 FM, 92.7 FM, and AM 820.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. Attorney General William Barr, speaking to members of the House Judiciary Committee, says federal troops are needed in Portland to protect a vulnerable federal courthouse.
Inside the courthouse are a relatively small number of federal law enforcement personnel charged with a defensive mission to protect the courthouse. What unfolds nightly around the courthouse cannot reasonably be called protest. It is, by any objective measure, an assault on the government of the United States.
Barr said that violent rioters and anarchists have hijacked legitimate protest, ostensibly linked to George Floyd's death at the hands of Minneapolis police. He adds the violence in Portland, Oregon, and other cities is disconnected from Floyd's death. Also at townhall.com, now that Senate Republicans have unveiled their $1 trillion COVID-19 relief bill, some tough bargaining could lie ahead as they negotiate with Democrats who have some ideas of their own.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is imploring the White House and GOP lawmakers to stop the infighting and come to the table on a coronavirus aid package.
They're not really ready to have a serious negotiation.
Republicans and Democrats seem to agree on another round of $1,200 direct payments to households, but Republicans want to cut a $600 weekly jobless benefit. Here's Senate Finance Committee Chairman Chuck Grassley.
When you pay people not to work, what do you expect?
Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell says the GOP proposal provides $105 billion to schools and colleges.
I think this is a starting place.
Jennifer King,